Oh, good evening, everyone. Geoff, how are you doing tonight?
Just rolling from stream to stream. How you doing?
Yeah, you and me both. I was just on a Zoom meeting with Pete Dominic. I'm one of his patrons.
Mm.
Just as we have everyone, who is patrons of the studio. There's a couple that I give to. Pete Dominic's being one of them. So every couple of weeks he has a Zoom meeting, and all the faithful get together, and he had Dr. Aaron Carroll, who's a really top-notch doctor, public policy, health policy expert. He's one of his favorite guests, so he was on, which was great. So that was it. It was just really a lot of it was talking about COVID-19, which we're going to talk
about
a little bit. So, boy, and of course, welcome to everyone. Let's see it always takes a little while for the streams to catch up here, but we'll check in and see who's here. All the regulars seem to be here. Jeremy Burton, Miss Karen B, Patricia Pitts, Westbrook, as always. Dave M, how are you?
Where's some of the regulars I'm missing? Like Dave G Sound.
Stephen Chewy's here. How are you, sir? I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah. So, and before anyone asks, the two questions everyone asks is, where's Axanar? And the other question is, when are you getting your test results back? And I wish I could tell you. Today is day 10. It was supposed to be 5 to 7 days. Then they said on their website, "Oh no, just kidding. It's going to be 6 to 10 days." Anecdotally, we heard, "Oh no, don't even believe that. It's going to take even longer." So I think
it depends on where you're getting your test from and how many people there having the test.
Yeah,
I think you did CVS, right?
I did CVS. Yep.
So that's a pretty good. Geoff, I'm not regular. Yeah, no, Jim, you're regular. Hey, Dale. Good to see you too. No, Jim, you're regular. You're here all the time. I just, a name like Dave G Sound. I mean, come on. You're always going to remember that because it's not his real name.
Yeah. Exactly. There's Mark Payton. How are you? And Dale's here. Hey, Dale. Hope you're doing well. Dale, hopefully, Dale, you are still symptom-free. Dale and Dana basically kind of started quarantining themselves, isolating themselves, because those are basically the two people that I had contact with outside of Crystal, of course, before, now, and as we've talked about it, so today is technically 14, it's 2 weeks since I got sick. So
fingers crossed.
Yeah, so it's just a little congestion now. I wound up taking naps in the afternoon because I'm just exhausted. I'm also going in the morning. In the morning, I hit the ground running. Today was a very productive day. Oh, today was a great day. It was actually a great day today because I needed I've been working to get an expert in my lawsuit against this prop dealer. And he just got some bozo prop collector who I know for years. And I'm like, whatever, that's your expert? Okay. And for today, I got in touch with one of my longtime customers from PropWorks, who happens to be an attorney and happens to be an expert witness in the pharma industry. So, and that is my expert witness in the lawsuit. So it's like, it's just one more thing that that's going very well in my lawsuit against this prop dealer.
There you go.
So, yeah, I hate to be involved. I hate to waste my time on a lawsuit, but if you're going to go into it, go fully armed. And right now it's I've got the USS Missouri, and she's driving the PT 109. So, which got crushed in half by a Japanese destroyer, I'll mention. So,
speaking of USS Missouri, have you seen Greyhound yet?
No, I have not, and I watched it.
I saw it today.
Great. Did you like it?
I liked it. I felt like I was playing World of Warships half the time.
Oh yeah.
Wait, where's my mouse? Oh wait, no, I'm just watching a movie. But it was good. It was really good. It's like one of those movies where it's like I don't know. You go in expecting something, you get something a little bit different, but it's still really good.
Now, I got to assume that entire movie is CGI.
Yes, pretty much. I mean, I think that they use practical sets for the ship itself, like when they're being filmed, but they're completely surrounded by green screen. Like I don't want to say you can tell in a bad way. It's just, you could tell. I mean, there's parts where like the ships, the graphics and everything are really well done, but it's clearly, I mean, you have to shoot it CGI like that. It would be way too expensive not to.
Yeah, they never make it. Yeah, but the thing with the movies where it's not that. Tell me how you think of it. I look at it at Greyhound, and when I was watching the trailers, I was like, "That's CGI." Not because it looks like CGI, but because you could never do that. You could never pull that camera move off at practically.
Correct. Absolutely. Scott Voigt's giving me some crap. He's saying he never sees me in World of Warships. And Scott, that is because you guys are late night players, and I have to do my streams at night now. So I play like during the dead middle of the day when I have a break to get like some XP. So that's why you don't see me.
Hey Scott, are we doing clan battles? I'll jump on after if we're doing clan battles.
Yeah, if they have clan battles tonight, I'll pop on. I'll definitely pop on.
Cool. Yeah, go.
We just, they definitely needs to be clan battles because I just want to try one.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys want to try World of Warships, it is an absolutely blast of a game. I must have played. I played 2 hours today just to get my crates and everything. Oh, I got the Graf Spee for free today. I finished building my Graf Spee. So
there you go. They're also doing. If you watch Twitch, if you have your Twitch account linked to your World of Warships and you have Twitch Prime. They're doing like random drop containers.
Yes, I've got it.
You have to watch a certain amount though. I got one container and I gave up because like I left my computer running for like 24 hours and I only got one. So I was like, all right, whatever. Gotcha.
In the World of Warships, both the USS Kidd and the Fletcher class are both represented in World of Warships.
Okay.
I just got my USS. I just got my Salem too. I'm just a big U.S. geek. I want all the U.S.
Hey, where's the Enterprise, though? I mean, come on.
I'll have the Enterprise.
Is the Enterprise in? They have an Enterprise in World of Warship.
I don't know if you can still get it. It was a premium ship, and it was the first premium ship I bought.
And it was an aircraft carrier, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the World War II aircraft carrier. And
that's why they knew everyone would want it. They're like premium ship.
Oh yeah, I got that in the Missouri right before the Missouri went out. The great thing about the Missouri is it's a cash cow in the game. Like,
yeah, I bet.
If you flag that thing up, you'll do 1 million credits per game.
I just like the not the cruisers, the battleship, the heavy battleships, because I mean, sometimes someone gets really close to you, you just hit them once, and it's like if you get their Citadel, they're done.
Dude, I Citadel though Yamato. It was like point blank range. He came around, and I was in I want to say it was the Missouri. He came around an island. He was focused on someone else, and I was right there.
You're
and
like,
broadside him. And I want to say I got like 45,000 points off of it.
Wow.
Obscene. It was, yeah.
Wow. And guys, just so you know, there's no more Axanar. It's just World of Warships now from now on.
That's right.
That is life, World of Warships.
Yeah.
That's our next fan film. Nothing else. It's going to be Greyhound 2, the Axanar story.
So we've got, before we get into our conversation, I do want to share. Oops, where did it go? It didn't. Let's see. Jonathan sent it to me. Let me get this link, and I am going to put this link in. Put this link here. We got a little more interlude today.
I did see.
Yeah. So
cameo by Alec Peters himself.
Who's that?
Yeah, I know. Who is that?
He's somehow. God. All right. So let's. We're gonna play the latest interlude piece.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Helm, hold her steady. We need some distance between us and those battle cruisers.
Trying, sir. Those monsters are fast.
Damage report.
Shields holding at 60%. After torpedoes disabled. Impulse engines damaged, but still operative. You have warp power, but not for long.
Breach, this is engineering. God, what the hell are you doing to my ship?
Listen, divert all non-essential power to the ash shields. Keep those warp engines intact. The ship's not on its way down to assist.
Do the impossible. Aye. Engineering out.
That's not your ship.
There you go.
All right. I don't know why the audio is always weird when you do the screen sharing.
Is it? Yeah.
I think we may have lost Alec.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. So yeah, there you go. So there's a little interlude. That's pretty cool, huh?
I was just saying, I don't know why the audio's lately has been weird when you do the screen sharing. It sounds like the audio is getting. We're hearing the audio of whatever you're playing like through a microphone instead of directly.
Huh. Okay.
But it's been that way for a while. I just always forget to tell you.
All right. That's the shit. I have to. Well, you know what I need to do also is I right now I'm just using the computer audio. I'm not using my Yeti, so I could use the Yeti and then just mute the Yeti when we go and try it that way. Maybe
but there should be a way to where it plays the audio directly through StreamYards.
That's what I select. I select enable audio.
Are you using Chrome?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so weird. Because when we play videos, we never have that issue. Because I've been checking on ours to see if it was a StreamYard thing. But anyways.
And you're using
Jim, it's not that the audio is bad. It's that the audio sounds like, it's being played through a microphone and not directly from the video itself.
Right. I wonder, do I have a I do have a mic output here. So. Should also try.
But regardless, you sound good when we're talking to you.
Do we? Okay.
So we'll figure it out someday.
All right. Whatever. Yeah. I like your. I need your black earbuds too, so they'll mesh.
Yeah. That now you know exactly why I do it. Like you can see them, but they kind of mesh in with my shirts as long as they're dark. And
No, that's a good idea. So, all right. So good. So all right. So let's talk about cameras. Let's start off talking about cameras and educate everyone out there a little bit about what's happening in the world of, I don't want to say high-end cameras because realistically, you describe what there's the two new cameras that have hit the market or are hitting the market right now are the Red Komodo, which is red.
Well, there's three. There's three cameras.
Oh, okay. Tell us now.
Yeah, so there's the Red Komodo, which is the one that I get next week, and that's basically the lowest end red, but it's not that it's the lowest end red in a bad way. It's they've done certain things to change it that are different from all the other red cameras, and it happens to be the lowest priced one. So that's one camera. The other one is from Blackmagic, and it's called the Ursa Mini Pro 12K, which is 12K resolution. It is the highest resolution camera that you're able to purchase commercially right now. So that's a pretty big deal. Not something I'm going to be buying, but it's a great push for the industry. And then the most consumer-friendly of all of them is this camera called the EOS R5 from Canon. And that is the first, consumer camera that will shoot 8K video. But it only shoot it for about 10 minutes before it overheats. But at the same time, it's a big deal that you can have a consumer camera that's under $10,000 that shoots 8K video. But again, for consumers, when I say under $10,000, that's still a lot for a lot of people. So
yeah, that's a lot. Now that's a DSLR, right?
Correct. That is the shape of a DSLR, and it's essentially a DSLR that shoots really good video.
Gotcha.
But the other cameras are not DSLRs. The other cameras that I mentioned are cinema cameras. They're meant for movie making.
Right.
And again, this Canon can be used for movie making, but with the overheating and only being able to shoot for 10 minutes, you don't want to rely on that for movie making. Because imagine you're filming a scene and you go, oh, hey, camera overheated. We got to wait about 10 minutes before we can go again. That's like time is money.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
But again, it's a great thing. It's 8K for I think it's under 5,000. So it's still a big push. And a lot of these cameras, like the Blackmagic, it's not necessarily about you going and buying them, but it's about pushing the whole camera industry in a certain direction and who's the first to market. So it's a marketing thing.
Gotcha. Well, and how much is the Komodo, and how much is the Black Magic?
The Red Komodo right now is $7,000. When it gets released officially at some point, it will be $6,000. But right now it's $7,000 because they're including certain things in it that they're not going to include when the actual release comes out. And that's just because right now there's certain things that you need to have the camera work because it's not officially released. So they're including it, but you're paying for it. And when it gets officially released, you can buy those things and they'll be helpful, but you won't need them. The Black Magic is $10,000. So again, they aren't cheap cameras, and a lot of people are upset with Black Magic, but they're upset because they're used to hearing Black Magic and then hearing very affordable. For what this is, it's very affordable. You're getting the closest camera next to this Black Magic that does 12K is a camera from Red called the Monstro, which is I think $40,000. So compared to a $40,000 camera, absolutely affordable for everybody. Definitely not.
But listen, you don't need to buy that camera.
No, not at all.
Yeah, right.
Not at all.
Shooting at 12K. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. 4K is the state of the art. No one's even shooting 8K for the most part, right?
There are some people shooting 8K. It's not a lot, but there are. Now, to give you an example, the Marvel movies are mostly shot on ARRI cameras, they are probably like the highest level of what people like in the movie industry. It's ARRI cameras, then Red cameras, then like Black Magic and Sony, and then everything else, just to simplify it. ARRI cameras are all 4K. They max out at 4K. They don't go higher than 4K. There's one ARRI camera that does go higher than 4K, but it's a specialty camera called the RE 65, the Alexa 65. And there are some movies you've seen that have been shot with it, but it's not 8K. I believe it's 6K.
Right.
As far as the resolution.
Now, we're talking shooting in 4K, but what is the output that we're seeing in movie theaters?
A lot of them are 4K now. A lot of movie theaters are 4K. They're using 4K projectors. So you are seeing 4K in movie theaters. It's a lot more common now than it even was like 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
And Sony was the forefront of that, by the way. Sony heavily pushed their 4K projection technology, which is why a lot of their films, like even some of the James Bond films, they actually forced them to use Sony cameras instead of like an RE or a Red camera.
That's interesting.
Yeah, not all the James Bond films, but I remember one of them, they had them use the high-end Sony cameras for it. One of the Daniel Craig ones.
Gotcha. So with all this weapon, this arms race in the camera industry, it seems like what everyone's moving for is not necessarily the prices points aren't going up because the technology is going up. The price points are coming down. It seems to be a race for the lowest price camera.
Somewhat. I think it's the race for the most value in a camera.
Yes, value. That's exactly.
General.
Right. Right. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. It is about value. It's like, how can we bring a camera in under $10,000 that you can shoot a fantastic movie on?
Yeah. Now the one thing with the Black Magic is an interesting technology they introduced is normally, and you and I have this talk about this with Red cameras and Black Magic cameras and even ARRI cameras, to use what's called the full sensor, which imagine, this square is the full sensor. You have to shoot at whatever the highest resolution is. If you shoot, let's say at 1080, because you don't want the big file sizes, it actually doesn't use the full sensor. It crops in, and you're using like a very cropped in part of the sensor, which means you're very zoomed in compared to using the whole thing. What this Black Magic does, which is the first camera that does it, is no matter what resolution you're using, it's always using that full sensor. And it's the first camera to ever do that and shoot in high-end video formats. So that's a really big thing.
Gotcha.
With it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
It starts getting really technical, and probably more technical than we should get for this stream. But there's a lot that happened this week in the camera world. So
what else happened?
The only other thing is that the big thing with the Red is the Red Komodo that's getting shipped out next week. That is the first cinema camera or at least red cinema camera that has high-end autofocus, which most cinema cameras, Aries, Blackmagics, they haven't had autofocus ever. They had push to tap autofocus, which is nothing. It's like if someone's sitting down in a chair and they're not moving, okay, you can push to tap, but that's all it will do. This red will be like the first red camera that has autofocus. That I wouldn't necessarily use it if I'm shooting a feature film, but if you're shooting like a music video or a live event, well, then you can actually use it while you're recording. So that's a big deal, and that's why this red camera is a big deal.
Gotcha. And also, it's also a big deal because of the price point.
Correct. It's also the lowest priced red camera that they've come out with so far. It's also the first red camera that doesn't use any proprietary technology, meaning you don't have to go to Red to buy the batteries or the media. You can't go to every Best Buy necessarily and get the batteries and the media, but you can get them off Amazon, and they can prime it to you the next day.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Drinking my sparkling water. I'm getting some bubbles.
All right. So you got the Red Komodo, and you're getting one of those. So
yeah, Ray wants to know what we used on the March shoot. And on the March shoot, we used a Blackmagic Pocket 6K and a Blackmagic Pocket 4K on the March shoot.
Yeah. What? God, this movie had such and there are 8 people watching. No, I'm not.
Well,
sure.
I think that 8 people watching. I'm
not sure. We've got 40. Oh, maybe 8 people watching on the Axanar
channels.
Yeah.
Quasar, we stream on like multiple channels at this point, so it's not like in the old days where you just watch in one place. It's on a lot of different places.
That's right.
But, thanks watching for the support.
Yeah, you're watching on the Axanar YouTube channel, and we're also streaming on the Aries Studios channel, the Axanar the Axanar Facebook page. So there's a bunch of places we're streaming. Don't
Glenn wants to know what the price point for the camera is. It depends on what camera, because we just scrolled over a bunch of different cameras.
So say that. What's the price? Gotcha. What's the price point for the red camera or the Blackmagic camera?
Yeah, well, the red camera when it officially releases will be $6,000. The Blackmagic is $10,000.
Gotcha. Someone asked how I'm doing. I'm doing fine, thank you. This is the end of week 2, and just getting over the exhaustion and a little chest congestion, but I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Check it. Well, listen. The most recent one, the cost-effective model, the Blackmagic or the
if it's the red, it's $6,000. If it's the Blackmagic, it's $10,000. As far as the cameras we were discussing.
Is that what the Komodo is? $6,000?
The Komodo will be $6,000 when it officially releases. We don't know when, but when it releases, it'll be $6,000. The reason they're charging more for the pre-production ones is they're giving you a few things. Yeah, I know you could definitely buy a Ford Pinto for that. The old saying, I always say when it comes to cameras is, if you're buying a camera, and especially if it's an expensive camera, if you can't pay that thing back in 6 months, you had no business buying that camera in the first place. So cameras are expensive, but when you're buying these kinds of cameras, you should be able to pay them off. So, it's a personal decision. I know people who buy $30,000 cameras, and they spend 3 years paying them off. And, at that point, by the time they paid it off, it wasn't really worth the investment. But then there's flip side, other people that have paid it off in a few months. So you just have to be really smart when you're laying out the cash for these kinds of cameras. But that's why they have cameras like the ones we used on the March shoot, which have really high quality. They do a really great job, but they're like $1,500 a camera or $2,000 a camera. And so they're a lot cheaper for the body. And now remember, guys, when I'm giving you these numbers, they don't include all the other things you need. So a $6,000 camera, but when it's all said and done, is really like a $10,000 camera. A $10,000 camera, when it's all said and done, is really like $15,000. So there's a lot you have to do to these to make them usable.
Is that true with the Komodo as well?
Absolutely, because you have to buy the media, you have to buy the batteries, you got to buy the adapters. Luckily, they're giving some of that to you with these pre-release ones, which is why they're charging more. But that's not going to be the case when it comes out.
Gotcha. What are they all driving towards? What, you know, I mean, 12K. Are we looking at 16K next?
Well, the drive was towards 8K.
Is that what?
Yeah, the drive was towards 8K. 8K was going to be the next thing after 4K. So that's kind of the running joke where Blackmagic said, you know, 8K. Who thinks about 8K? We're just going 12. But realistically, Blackmagic had to do 12 because they've had their expensive cameras sitting at 4K. And you know, yes, they could have gone 8K, but then they would have just been following what everyone else is doing. And instead, they went beyond what everyone else is doing. And it's, again, kind of like a marketing thing. It's not fake. It's not fake that they're doing 12K, but part of the whole 12K is that, you know, they had the highest resolution camera for the price point now.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Blackmagic is just a fascinating company. I mean, they're really. Mm-hmm. There's so much. I remember, I mean, even when I was at NAB, which was 3 years ago, I mean, just the stuff that they were coming out with at the time was just all over it. From streaming stuff to, it just all aspects of editing, and they really, and didn't they?
And they only started doing video cameras like 8 years ago, too. It's like, now it's 8 years. They've had a long time, but you know, compared to Canon,
sure,
you know, Sony and Panasonic, you know, they're babies compared to them.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and I see Lissa in the chat. She's happy because she got a Pocket 4K as well.
And a Pocket 4K. How much is a Pocket 4K?
Pocket 4K by itself is $1,300.
Wow, that is not a lot of money.
No, and that's why they're so popular. Because I mean, look, the Pocket 4K is about, say it's about 70% of what the Red Komodo is, but for a lot less. And that's a big thing. That's really big. And that's why I have a Pocket 4K and I'm not getting rid of it with my Komodo coming in, because it's a heck of a amount of value for the money. But I mean, with all the accessories that I have for it, it's not as cheap as it was. You're probably looking at like $3,000 without lenses for all the little accessories I have to get it like usable for a feature. But if you're not shooting a feature, you don't need all the little things I have, and you could probably get away with a kit that's under $2,000 with a Pocket 4K.
Wow. Okay, that's great. Now, how much are lenses for these kinds of cameras?
All depends on what you're doing. You know, if you're shooting feature films, you're looking at thousands, at least a few thousand to get a few different kinds of lenses if you're not going to rent them out, which a lot of people do just rent their lenses out. If you're kind of a hobbyist and you're, you know, doing this for fun, you know, you could probably spend under $1,000 and get a few good lenses. But then, you know, there's other things like, you know, you got to get a good tripod. You got to get batteries because the battery life is not that great on these cameras. They last about like 45 minutes to an hour per battery. And microphones, you know, that's the one thing a lot of people forget. You got to get a microphone.
Good sound.
Yeah, you got to get some kind of sound, because you can't use these. The microphones that are built into cameras are really just meant for what's called scratch audio, which is like, you know, if you can't hook up the audio to your camera, you use it so you could sync the audio in post, so you have something to sync. But you know, that's not meant to be used.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. So
would the Pocket 4K be a good starter camera? Honestly, it would not. It would be a good starter camera if you were trying to make movies, if you're trying to make narrative or documentary films. If you were looking for like a good starter video camera, I would look at the Sonys and the Panasonic cameras. Stogie's a perfect example of someone who I got in on the starter level, who got a really good starter kit. He got a Lumix G85. That's a pretty solid starter video camera hybrid still camera kit. It does amazing quality video. His kit was like $500, $600, and that's with a lens.
Wow.
So
wow, that's great.
It's really good. Again, it's not for making feature films, but if you're doing documentaries or you're doing home videos, you're doing stuff that isn't like multi-thousands of dollar level projects. You're doing some smaller level stuff. You don't need the bigger expensive stuff. You're better off learning with some of the other stuff that actually has stuff like autofocus that can help you and tools to make exposing everything a lot easier. So, it really depends. I always say the camera's a tool, and you need the right tool for the job, like in any profession. And so you got to choose the right camera for what you're doing. And not everyone's jumping right into making feature films when they start off. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Well, it's just fascinating how, everything we do in this industry now on the lower end, on the small independent side, it's all because of the last 20 years of filmmaking technology. Mm-hmm. It's going away from film and going to digital, and then making those cameras better and more accessible, and the cameras have not only gotten better, but they've gotten cheaper.
Yep. And Wright's asking if he can hit me up. Yeah, man, you can hit me up. Realistically, I'm going to do a few things and hit it after this, so I might, get back to you in the morning. But absolutely.
There you go. KZB, we already discussed that. Yep. That was the first camera we started talking about. So yeah, the overheating problem is a major issue for that camera.
Major issue. Even if you shoot 4K, it overheats.
Yeah.
4K it overheats, but you have 30 minutes before it overheats. So it's a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Panda 44R, I don't know who you are, but enough with the triple sales, please. Okay.
Triple sales?
I don't know. She's selling triples, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So
some of you guys in your lingo, I'm not hip enough for it. I feel like an old man here.
Well, yeah, I don't know who's selling triples these days. There is like remote control triples you can get. There's a company that's actually got a CBS license that you can control your triple with your cell phone.
You know what I saw that's got a CBS license that looks pretty dang good? The Polar Lights Enterprise Discovery Enterprise model kit.
Oh, okay. Is there a big size one or?
Yeah, it's a big size one. It's like a little bit smaller than your Enterprise, but it's a model kit. It's not like, I think yours is like a lot sturdier. This is like plastic, and then you can buy the decals, and I think in total, and you can buy the lights too. So in total, it's like maybe like $110 with the lights and the decals and everything. But I mean, look, if you do it right, you have something that kind of looks like what you have, but for like $110. And I'm sure yours is a lot more than that.
Yeah. Oh, my big Enterprise is that's the Master Replicas one. So
right.
That's a totally different. Yeah, I'll have to ask Steve Iverson, who's the big model guy. He is Cult TV Man, which is the he's one of the biggest hobby kit sellers in the country. Anyway, and he's the guy that's in the next building over from our studio. But I'll ask him about it. Yeah, if you want one, I'll get one. I'll get you one. And he'll hook us up cheap. So
I don't think it's Master Replica though. It's Polar Lights.
No, Polar Lights. One. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. No, I'm thinking about it. Like the only thing I saw is that it's a pre-order right now. It's not you can get the kit, but you can't get the decals or the lights. And I'm like, well, I don't want to get the kit without the decals and the lights because you know where it's going, Alec. If I get it, it's going right there. Around. But it's going up there with the lights and everything. I'm not getting it without lights. It's just going to look dull.
Let me. No, I don't blame you. What's the deal with the big Discovery Enterprise kit? All right.
And then one company I saw, they did I think we spoke about this before, but they were doing a ready-to-film replica of the Shenzhou, the Discovery, and the Enterprise from Discovery. But it's like $10,000 or something like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like I'm like, who's buying that? You know, are you making that to sell it to Star Trek?
Yeah, right. It's like okay, you have to be just have stupid money to spend that kind of money.
Like who's making Discovery fan films that can afford $10,000 on a model? You know, if I did a fan film, I don't know if I'd want to spend $10,000 on that kind of a model. I mean, I'd love to shoot practically, but I don't know, 10,000. I mean, it may be a deal if you don't have to build it yourself, but still, it's a lot. It's a lot to spend.
Absolutely, that is a lot. Absolutely. So cool. What else? Anything new in the industry as far as shooting? Projects that are shooting during, under the new COVID guidelines and
there's some that went back into production recently. There's not a lot I can really talk about. I think I can say that Matrix has resumed production. I know they posted something about Uncharted. I don't know if that meant that it's in production or if that they're starting pre-production. But I saw that the new Jurassic Park movie, the one with the new and the original cast, that one has been in production for a while, but they're in Hawaii, so they're somewhat isolated from everybody. So it's things are starting to resume, but the big announcement was that things in Hollywood were supposed to resume in September, and the way things are going in LA, at least, I don't know. As far as things outside of LA, like maybe filming in Georgia, Toronto, Vancouver, I could see them resuming in September. I don't know. I don't know about LA, because even with the Red factories, they were saying after they send out our cameras, they may possibly be in lockdown again, which is why they're kind of rushing to send them out next week. So we'll see. We'll see. Right. We're on a lot of like day-to-day, week-to-week stuff, and in Florida, production really hasn't resumed. They like to push that it has, but I haven't seen anything big budget start. It's a lot of like doctor's office videos and corporate videos I see that are going on. I don't see anything like that's high budget going down, because a lot of the talent that are behind it aren't really comfortable doing it because the numbers are so high here. So I can just imagine how it is in California, and specifically LA.
Oh, I know, right? By the way, I just posted information on the new Enterprise kit. It is from Polar Lights. It is an 18-inch version. I posted it's $48.99 on the Cult TV Man website right now. And he says, yes, there's a separate light kit and an Aztec decal set coming in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Look, I gotta say, I really dig what and I love how they said it was fan approved. I dig what they did with the Discovery Enterprise. I think they did a pretty decent job. I don't hate the Discovery. I'll tell you, I didn't like it as much when it first came out. It kind of grew on me, but when I saw the Enterprise, I was like, I like it. I like it. That is how you reimagine the Enterprise. A lot more respectful than the JJ one was. Even though I like the JJ one, it was just kind of like, that's really changing it up, a lot more than at least Kurtzman did with Discovery. So
yeah, no, I'm just not a fan of the JJ Enterprise, not at all.
With those big ample nacelles.
Yeah. And this, I don't know, even when they redid it,
when they did the A version?
Yeah, the A version.
But it's like subtle differences. It's not even like hugely different. It's like the nacelles are out further, and they redid the impulse on the back a little bit, and like overall it's very similar. It's just slightly different.
Yeah,
it's kind of like only the really hardcore Star Trek fans will be like, yeah, I can tell every difference. Most people are going to be like, okay, that's the same ship with the A on it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's how I didn't even realize they changed it, because I was in Israel when Beyond came out, and I saw it there, and I was with a bunch of people who like wanted to see Star Trek, but they didn't really care about it, and I didn't notice. I didn't notice until it came out on digital, to where I was like, oh, okay, they changed it a little bit.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. A couple things just for the viewers who are, the other day we had a little fundraiser for Christy Elizabeth Sellers, who's one of our favorite rescue people, and she had a little parvo puppy. And so I'm going to show you a little video. She is taking care of, this one is named Sterling. Cute as can be. Here, I'm going to share this with you.
Sterling. Hey, bud. Say hi to everybody. Oh. Hi, buddy. Hi, baby.
Okay, so there we go. That's Sterling, the little parvo puppy. So we raised $275 for that which helped her buy all the supplies she needs. She's taking care of him at home, and she got to him early. So hopefully hopefully he'll make it through. She gives me a little daily update on it. So everyone who donated the other day, and by the way, all the stuff is shipped out to all of you who donated. Your backpacks and your bags and everything already shipped out. So thank you very much. I was able to get ahead of all the shipping. So that is it. And then the other one I just want to share with you is little Everest, who's not one that we raise money for. This is being taken care of by Karen Kelly, but nonetheless a ridiculously cute little puppy. I'm going to share this one. Okay.
Hey, sweetie. Hi, darling. What are you doing?
All right, there you go. There's Everest, the other little puppy that we're keeping an eye on. We have not. I was supposed to go literally 2 weeks ago. I was supposed to go and help Karen give this little puppy some love and attention, and that's the day I got sick. So, but nonetheless, Everest is doing better. Karen is an amazing rescue person. So that is your pup date for today. Let everyone know what's going on in the world of Axanar Dog Rescue. Listen, what are you up to this weekend, Geoff?
Fam, hanging with the fam. Nothing crazy, I feel like every time everyone goes out down here, a few weeks later they find out they get COVID. So it's nothing crazy.
What,
how about you?
Nothing. I actually went out this morning because I had a hankering for a biscuit, and I went out to Hardee's because Hardee's has Beyond. These Beyond patties. These they now have Beyond breakfast biscuits.
Yep. Wow. And Einstein started doing that too.
Oh yeah. So and the Beyond sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is amazing. It's amazing. It's like the Beyond patty at Burger King. They have a Beyond Whopper. It's great. It tastes just like real meat. So anyway, I had a hankering this morning, so I went out and masked and disinfected everything. And I try and order enough so that I don't have to get change.
Okay.
Let them keep the change. So it was like, I don't know, it was like $8, and I was like, here's.
Why are you paying with cash?
Huh?
Why are you paying with cash?
Well, I just happen to have cash on me, so I wipe it down. I have disinfecting wipes, so I disinfect the dollar before I give it to them, and they're wearing gloves and everything anyway. But and then I'm like, keep the change. I don't need to deal with it.
I haven't used cash. I literally only use cash when I have to.
Yeah, I know. I've been using a card for everything. It's
And for me, when I have to, it's like when I'm in another country.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's about the only time I go out, really. I've gone out. I've probably gone out, 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4 times over the past week. And the week before that, I didn't go out at all because I was at home sick the whole time. But even when I go out, it's mask and disinfecting wipes and a drive-through. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to go wakeboarding. I'm probably going to go wake surfing, not this weekend, but next weekend. But I can't do the cable parks anymore because I'm not trying to ruin their parade. But there's like no social distancing going on there, and I'm not about that.
God,
but on the boat, it's a different story because you don't have 100 people in a small area. It's just you and who's on the boat with you. And a friend of mine has a really great school out of Miami. And it's great because we'll go wake surfing and it's like you have all of downtown Miami behind you. And I used to do a lot of commercials for him. And so we were talking about doing some wake surfing, and because he was like, why don't you go to the cables? And I'm like, that's why. And he's like, all right, you come out on the boat with me. So I'll probably do that next weekend.
Very cool.
And then this weekend I have a live stream on Sunday, and I'm doing the 12th episode of the Reach Films podcast, which is something I do every once in a while, but my friends in the film community have been pushing me to restart it again. So I'm doing it with a guest host, Joshua Martin, who's this really great filmmaker out of Illinois. And we're basically kind of doing what we did tonight, recapping the news for filmmakers and kind of giving our spin on it, and also talking about our experiences with some of our camera gear. So that will be a big part of Sunday, kind of helping him set up his camera stuff and getting our whole script set up so we can kind of do it all in one take, and that'll be Sunday. So,
all right. Scott asked, a biscuit at Hardee's lost your love for Biscuit Bar? No, dude. You have to, you can't eat the same place all the time. Actually, Hardee's Biscuit Barn, Little Barn, some people call it Biscuit Barn, Little Barn, which is our big one. I'm not crazy about their biscuits because they do those huge ass biscuits. I like a really firm biscuit. One that's almost crunchy. So Hardee's biscuits are fantastic. I rate them as the best fast food biscuit. I mean, not a fan of McDonald's biscuits. They're too greasy. Burger King's aren't bad, but Hardee's are great. So, I had that biscuit and a couple of cinnamon and raisin biscuits from Hardee's, which if you've never had are amazing.
So we don't have Hardee's down here.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, and you don't have
They're in Florida. They're just not in my area of South Florida.
Gotcha. Yeah, Hardee's is a Southern thing. I mean, out west it's Carl's Jr., but it's the same. Right. It's the same franchise.
I mean, here we only got a Sonic in the area, and it's still like 20 minutes from me, like somewhat recently. But I mean, we have fast food places. It's kind of like in Boca. There's so many restaurants, and the rent is so expensive here that I feel like unless they're like a high-end not a high-end fast food, because that's kind of like an oxymoron, but unless they're like a really big fast food chain that can afford like a Starbucks or a McDonald's or a Burger King, that there's just like so many of them. I feel like some of the smaller ones can't afford to be there in the area.
Yeah. By the way, if you're watching on the Axanar YouTube channel, go over to the Aries Studios YouTube channel and subscribe and hit the notifications icon there. Outside of Axanar Confidential, we do almost all of our live streams over on the Aries Studios channel now. So you're not going to get notifications about those if you're watching on the Axanar channel. Axanar Confidential Friday nights is on the Axanar YouTube channel. But other than that, we're really not live streaming on the Axanar YouTube channel. Trying to keep that for other things, for Axanar things. Yeah. So just to give you all the heads up about that. So head on over to the Aries Studio channel. You can find the link there on the main page. Over on the right-hand column of the Axanar YouTube page. Why don't we, and listen, as we're starting to wrap up, we're going to give you another little, just to promote Interlude, which is Jonathan Lane's Axanar fan film. Let me get, oops. It's so weird watching this because even though I know I'm in it, it doesn't seem like me. It's just like it seems like I'm watching someone else. It's kind of that's kind of I don't know. It's kind of weird. But I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, let's watch this one more time. Let's see. As a matter of fact, since I've got I'm using my earphones. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do a test. Tell me if I'm going to plug in my Yeti mic, and tell me if the audio. I'll put the Yeti on mute. Let me change over my microphone settings to the Yeti.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, because if you have your Yeti and you mute it and it still sounds weird, then I don't know what it is. But the only reason I know it's not just this computer I'm using is I've heard it on my phone before when I've been watching the streams on my phone.
Right. Okay. So let's see. All right. All right. Testing.
Wow, it is.
There we go. I switched it over.
Lightning out right now, like right next to a window right here, and I just hear like boom. I'm like, oh, okay.
All right. So we're gonna let's give this a shot and see how this works.
Helm, hold her steady. We need some distance between us and those battle cruisers.
I'm trying, sir. Those monsters are fast.
Damage report.
Shields holding at 60%. Aft torpedoes disabled. Impulse engines damaged but still operative. We have warp power, but not for long.
Breach, this is engineering. Garth, what the hell are you doing to my ship?
Alexei, divert all non-essential power to the aft shields. Keep those warp engines intact. Mr. Tanaka's on his way down to assist.
Do the impossible. Aye. Engineering out.
That's not your ship.
Well, look, it's my face. Yeah, that sounded better, weirdly enough.
Okay, so maybe it was not the audio wasn't being recycled through the microphone. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, possibly.
So
even Scott's with me. Scott says it sounds better.
So there you go. Okay, well, live and learn then. Live and learn. So that's good. I can. As a matter of fact, I can. All right. Well, good. Well, listen. I think that's about it for now. I hope everyone's doing great. I hope everyone has a great weekend. We will. I will be broadcasting tomorrow night because I'm not doing anything other than staying socially distant from everyone. I've got all the good news is I cleared out almost all the perk and Aries Studio order queue outside of some problem children who I'm dealing with little by little. And then so now I got to go through. There's a couple dozen people have said I never got my patches, or I'm going to deal with all those tomorrow. Help them. We made a big trip. Crystal made a big trip to the post office today and dropped off a ton of stuff. So cool. I will be.
How close are we on a script for War Stories? Or for at least the Robert April one.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do this weekend. Now that I can actually focus.
Do you know who's writing it?
I'm going to be writing. Yeah, I'm writing it.
Okay.
Yep, I'll be writing it, and then I'll probably run it by David Gerald. Let him take a look at it and tell me what he likes or he doesn't like. But yeah, I know exactly where it's going. So I think it's going to be a great piece. I'm really excited about it. Jim Westbrook says, Alex, so should we all put in another 100 orders each? Yeah, no, not right now. Not right now. Give it, give me a little time to catch up on all the problem children. And then it's nice having a zero queue. But matter of fact, it was 0 this morning. And then sometime in the middle of the morning, Ad Angle ordered stuff, and I'm like, what, another order? Damn. And it was a good size order. And I went downstairs and packed it real fast and shipped it out. Lokai says, I love your last line, Alec. Yeah, it's actually, God, I think that's from something in, he took that cue from the Axanar script. And there's a scene when they bring the Ares back to Earth to get refit after the Battle of the Gas Giant. As they're beaming down, Garth and Tanaka are beaming down to Starfleet headquarters, and you're welcome, Chris. And Garth says, something to the effect of, "Take care of my ship." And after he beams down, laying off under his breath, says, "It's my ship." So that's where Jonathan kind of took that, and so it makes it kind of a running joke. And listen, I'm just joking. If you guys want to order something, feel free to order something. We've got the black shopping bags, which look fantastic. I gotta say, plus all the other stuff, the fridge magnets. I know John Tesler was showing off his keychain that he got today. It's all there. I just put the Geronimo models in the store. So those are in the store. And I'm going to be putting autographed photos of the Prelude cast, because I've now shipped everyone who's got a cast member signed photo. They've all been shipped. So so there you go. Those will be in this weekend too. So there'll be some cool new stuff in the store, and I know I've got to deal with China and order more stuff. So Jim Westbrook got his shopping bag. So very cool. Jim, I'm pretty sure I sent you out your backpack, your new backpack. Anyway, we'll keep posted on that. Dave M says, "Hey, cool stream. Fun as always. Look forward to the next one. Thank you guys. Tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, I'll be on. We may, typically these things, I'm tending to do a little closer to 45 minutes than an hour, just because I like getting into bed and relaxing. I'm run down. I'm run down. I slept another 2 hours this afternoon after a good night's sleep. But it's just the afternoon. It's just I'm still. That's the part of me that's still recovering from this whole thing. But all right, I love you all. Jeffy, thanks for coming on again. As always, it's always great to hear what's happening in the world of technology. Absolutely, we'll have you on again. Want to thank everyone. Thank everyone who's a Patreon subscriber. If you're not a subscriber to our Patreon channel, please do, because that's how we support the studio. That's how we do all these streams all the time. It is what keeps the doors open in the studio. You guys are amazing. Eventually we're going to have our very own studio, and it's all because of you guys and what you guys do. So thank you so much. I will get some sleep. Thank you very much, Johnson. And Starfleet Tactical is Starfleet Tactical never goes under an hour, because those guys talk more than me, which is hard to believe, but they do. Chris is amazing, and I don't know if we have Patrick tomorrow, but we will be talking again a full hour on Starship Combat. So come on in. Why tonight 9:30? Just because Geoff couldn't do 9, and we just had to push it a little.
I have a stream until from 8:30 to 9:30 every weeknight.
Yep. So that's why we just pushed it a half hour. If you're paying attention to your notifications, it should be okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you to Alyssa, our producer, once again. We appreciate your time. And we will see you guys tomorrow for Starship Tactical at 10 o'clock. And in the meantime, as always, live long and prosper, my friends. Be safe. Wear your damn mask. And we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Adios.